So hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So in this video I'm going to talk about the basic of Blender animations, and in this video I will talk about the what is the keyframes and how we can add the keyframe in any objects and how we can remove that, and what is the use of timeline. So that video basically for a beginner, and I'm just going to talk about from the scratch of the animations, so how we can start the animation in Blender. Okay guys, so let's start the tutorial. Okay, so here I have a one scene, here I have a one box. Okay guys, and I'm just going to enable my shortcut VR so you can see easily which key I'm pressing. So first we are going to talk about what is the timeline basically. So here you can see at the bottom it's called a timeline. If I will drag it little bit up, so here you can see we have a timeline here, and that is a time slider. We can move the any keyframe from that slider. Okay, and there are some settings. So here you can see here we have some playback settings. So I will also talk about these feature in the future. Okay, and here is a key setting. So this is very important and sometimes it's very useful, so I will tell how to use that. And that is the auto record key. It's called auto keying. So it's a useful and very important tool. Sometimes it's very useful. I will talk about also that tools what is does exactly. Here is some playback buttons, so I will also talk about that section. Okay, and here is a little slider. It's called it's showing basically current frame. Okay, so what it does exactly, so I'm just going to show you and just giving a little intro about that. So if I will if I will click on it and I will just choose any frame like a 50, so it will be jump directly 50. So basically it's used to jump into the frame. Okay, so basically if we want to go to the frame number 56 or 65, so we can directly jump into that frame. Okay, and here is, you can see here is the start or end frame. So basically that is decide our animation time, so where our animation start and where our animation will be end. Okay, and here you can see we have a little icon of the clock. So what is does exactly, if I will enable that, so it's set the range of the animation basically. Right now that animation set by default is 250. so here you can see when I enable it, so here you can see that the orange color is enable. So it's showing basically that animation will start from 1 frame to 250 frame. Okay, so if I will increase that like 300, so that orange line is now disappear, because so if I will zoom out, so here you can see that animation's color reach at 300 frames. So if I will play the animation, so here you can see that animation will play till 300 frames. Sometimes it's good, and because sometimes we have lots of keyframes and we are confused. Okay, so we can use it. Okay, personally I'm not using that, but you can use it if you want to double secure. Okay, let's move the next option. So I'm just going to drag down a little bit. Okay guys, so I hope you understand the what is the timeline and what this does exactly, and I will also talk about these buttons and features what it does exactly. But now I'm just going to show you how you can add the keyframe in any object and how you can delete that. Okay, so let's start. So here I have one box. So before adding the keyframe, I'm just going to show you one thing. So if I will press the N, so here you can see here is the item section. So here is some transformation settings. Okay, and these settings of that cube. Okay, here is a location setting, rotation setting, and scale setting. And if I will change the setting, here you can see that changes is affected in cube. Okay, so basically whatever we are animation doing, so we put the number of hair and then that animation is happening. Okay guys, So, and make sure whenever you start the animation, these panels should be in a 0. So what I mean, so if I will scale that like that, and I will little bit drag like that, and sometimes you can see our size is not changed, but our locations and our scales is changed, okay, and sometimes it affect our animation. So make sure whenever you start your animation, you just click the Control A, and here is the option is you can also do all transform, and if you did only scale, so here you can see if I click the scales, so that scales is come again 1, and that is the default. So same thing I will do to the location. So here you can see, so make sure that location and that scale should be on 0, that animation will look good. So I'm adding the cube again. So now we will learn how we can put the keyframe in any objects, and so basically there are 3 ways to add the keyframe in any objects. So I'm going to show you first one. So first one is that, suppose for example I need a animation keyframe on a x-axis. So what I will do for that, so I will just hover my mouse onto the x-axis, and I will press the I. So when I press the I, here you can see we have a new keyframe here. Here you can see the bottom left, and that X location is locked now. Okay, so that is the first way how we can add the keyframe. So if I will drag it little bit like that on a 60 frame, and if I will change the settings, if I will change the axis from the here, so and then I will press the again I, so that value is locked here. So what is the means that cube will be move that 0 value to 8.7 value. Okay, so basically that keyframe is store our object data. Okay guys, and now I'm going to show you the second way to add the keyframe. So I'm just going to delete that. So first way, you can hover your mouse off any axis and just press the I, you get the keyframe. Here you can see. So I'm just going to Control Z. So second way, you just select your object, whatever object you just want to add the keyframe, add the location, rotation. So what you have to do for that, I'll just select my object and I'll just press the I. So when I press the I, here you can see we have a lots of option now here. Okay, location, rotation, scaling, lock rotation scales, and lock scales, and rotation scales. If we will move to down, that will become more complicated. So right now I'm just stuck only those 3 options. Okay, location, rotation, and scales. So suppose I need a keyframe on rotations, so I'll just click the rotation. So here you can see we have a new keyframes. I'm just going to move again 60 frame, and I'm just going to change any rotation like that. Okay, and I will press again I, and here is again that dialog box is showing, and I will press the same rotation key again. So here you can see we have a rotation animation on our object. Okay guys, here you can see. So that is the second way how we can add the keyframe on our object, our model. Now I'm going to show the last one. So I'm just going to delete. So last one, it's a very useful, and basically I'm using that every time. So for that, I'll just add one keyframe. First I just click the I. Okay, and I'll just add the keyframe for scaling, suppose, and I'll just move to the 60 frame. So right now I'm just going to enable that auto key. Here you can see auto key. So when I change the anything of my object, so for example I'm just scaling my object like that. So here you can see that that keyframe is automatic generated. Okay, I'm just showing you again. So if I move to the 100 frame, and I'm just going to little bit scale like that. So that keyframe is automatic generated. Okay, so here you can see we have a scaling animation of our object. Okay guys, so third option is good, okay, but sometime it's not good, because we are doing our animation, we forget we have enabled that auto keyframe, and whatever changes we are doing in our object, it just captured as that data, and after that it's ruin our animation. So that's good, but make sure when you are doing your other works, so make sure it's switch off, because for example I did my animation, okay, and I'm just want to move here like that, okay, like that. I'm just go to the frame 10, and I just want to do some changes. Okay, I just move it like that, and I just want a little bit of scale. So here you can see it's taking that data also. So make sure whatever whenever you complete your animation in a timeline, make sure you just switch off that button. Okay guys, so that is the way how we can add the keyframe our object, okay, and how we can delete. We can just select all, we can press the delete, and it's showing a delete keyframe. We can delete like that. And the second way, we just select all the keyframes, and we will just press the X. It's also asking the delete keyframe, we can delete like that. And these are two way how we can delete our keyframe. So now you got it, how we can add the keyframe in our objects. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about some other settings like that, about these playback buttons, what is does exactly. So for example, I just enable that, okay, and I'm just doing some animation like that, okay, like that, and like that also. So right now we have some keyframe in our timelines, here you can see. So what is does exactly, okay, but make sure whenever you done your animation, just switch off that auto key. Okay, so these are buttons, what is does exactly. So for the right hand button, we can play our animation. Here you can see that animation is playing, okay, and same thing with the left key button, that animation will play the reverse. Okay, now what is that? Okay, so that button basically jump to the next keyframe. For example, I'm in the 1 frame, and I just want to jump into the 15 frame, so I'll just click it, it will be jump to next frame. So basically it will jump the always next frame. Okay, for example, we have a next frame is 74, okay, like that. So when I will jump to 1 to 15, 1 to 50, so it will, and then I will press it again, it will be jump to 71. So it's always jump to next frame, okay. And same thing will do that left hand button, it jump to reverse, okay. And these last button, it's directly jump to the end point, end frame. So here you can see I was in 1 frame, and I just press that key, I am in 250 frames. If I will do same thing with that left hand button, so we will reach again 1 frame. So these are the basics of how we can jump to next frame and how we can jump to directly end frame. So that is the use of these buttons basically. So I think you learn a basic of animation in Blender, okay. So I think now you can start your animation with your box, okay, because now you know that what is the timeline, what is use of that time slider, what is the use of that buttons, okay, auto keying buttons, and what is the use of these buttons, okay. And I forgot to talk about that these buttons also. So what it does exactly, so if I will set the 68, so it will jump into 68 directly, and that is the start or end button. So right now that start is set on frame 1. So if I will set the frame 10, so that animation will start from frame 1. Okay, and same thing it's happen the end frame. If I will set the 150, so that animation end of 150. So basically that is the use of these start of end button, and sometimes it's useful because we need only some part of animation from our animations, so we can do from that. Okay guys, so I hope you learn something in this video and you get to some idea, basic idea how you can put the keyframe in your models, how you can delete, and what is these dimension and what is work. Okay, and so if you want to second part of that video, so make sure you comment on. So if you want to second part of that video, so please comment on the comment box. I will read your comment, and as much as more comment will come, I will make that video faster. Okay, and thanks for watching this video guys. If you learned something in this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share my video also guys. And if you have any queries, if you have any suggestion, please let me know in the comment box. I will definitely reply your comment. And thank you, bye bye, stay home.